morning, everybody. Despite the rain, it is still great to be here today in Alberta's industrial heartland, an area that is a powerhouse in responsible energy development and, of course, economic growth in our province. The DIZ began as a bold new way to support infrastructure and sustainable practices in Alberta's industrial heartland. Now we're reimagining how to regulate industrial facilities. Of course, there's still improvements to make to reduce red tape while upholding our high environmental standards, but this is absolutely a success story. And we're not just leading in Canada, we are showing the world a better way forward. Streamlined logistics, reduced transportation costs, crystal clear environmental expectations, and shared access to infrastructure and resources. These help the designated industrial zone attract transformational projects to our province. Projects like Dow's Path to Zero project, one of the largest investments in Alberta history. These cutting-edge projects are growing our petrochemical sector, and they're proving that environmental leadership and economic growth absolutely can go hand in hand. Today, companies around the world are looking for the best places to build the industries and facilities of tomorrow. Alberta can and should and will be that place. We are the home of innovation. We have the talent, we have the energy, and we have the designated industrial zone, a clear signal to the world that we're serious about partnering for progress. That's why today I'm pleased to announce that we're investing over $50 million over the next 5 years in the designated industrial zone. This will help attract world-leading industrial projects right here in the industrial heartland and ensure we have the infrastructure to support them, starting with 3 new water intake facilities accessing the river right behind us. Water is critical for industry. They need it to operate, and they continue finding new ways to recycle and reuse it. It's been over a decade since the last new water intake was built here. We need new water intakes if we're going to keep expanding this rapidly growing area. Our $50 million will cover 30% of the construction costs, with municipalities and their partners funding the rest. This isn't just about the industrial heartland. Our government is working hard to improve water infrastructure right across our province. That's why we invested earlier this year in major new programs like the $125 million Drought and Flood Protection Program. And earlier this year, our colleague Minister Dreeshen announced over $400 million in grants for municipal water programs over the next 3 years. Through the designated industrial zone, the wildly successful Alberta Petrochemical Incentive Program, the new Alberta Carbon Capture Incentive Program, and the most talented workforce in North America, we are attracting companies that are thinking big. Earlier, I mentioned Dow's Path to Zero, a nearly $9 billion project that will use CCUS to create the world's first net zero carbon emissions integrated ethylene cracker. For us, this isn't an either-or conversation. When we talk about the resources and products everyday people will need every single day, our government understands that the world needs more responsible resource development and certainly the investments we're seeing in petrochemicals. We also know that the world will need more energy as demand continues to rise every single day, and we believe that that energy and those resources should absolutely come from Alberta. We're leading the way in so many areas, providing the fuels, fertilizers, power, petrochemicals, hydrogen, and other materials that Albertans and Canadians need. That's the Alberta approach, creating jobs, billions of dollars in investment, all while lowering global emissions and promoting responsible development. Today's announcement will help us do exactly that, and I just want to thank my amazing colleague and a huge advocate for the area, Jackie Armstrong-Hominick, MLA, to say a few words.
I'd like to start by thanking my colleague, Minister Schultz, for all of her hard work on this project. Today's announcement doesn't only speak to her knowledge of environmental and industrial issues, but to her knowledge of the constituency I represent, Fort Saskatchewan-Vegreville. The more than $50 million being invested over the next 5 years is clear proof of that knowledge. The Heartland already provides approximately 30,000 direct and indirect jobs. It is already a prime target for investment, with $45 billion of capital investment made so far and another $11 billion announced for construction. It is already a world-renowned hub for innovation in clean industry. But without proper water access, industry can't grow, and Alberta's industrial heartland has been operating with the same supply of water for more than a decade. This is why I've been passionately advocating for this project since my election. The construction of 3 new water intake facilities, or as I like to call them, straws in the river, will allow industry here to continue to grow for many years to come. This means the area will become even more attractive for investment. This means even more jobs in my constituency and opportunities for those moving here. This means even more of a cutting-edge innovation, which is making Alberta a trailblazer in responsible industrial development. To put it simply, as the Heartland grows, Fort Saskatchewan grows, and Alberta prospers. I'm happy to say that this will be happening while the designated industrial zone keeps strong environmental frameworks in place. This ensures that today's investment won't just lead to growth, but will lead to growth, the kind of sustained prosperity we want our children to inherit. I'm excited to see how that growth helps my constituency thrive, and I'm grateful I could be part of this announcement, which will make that growth possible. I'm now passing this on to Dave Dudek, so he can tell you more about today's announcement and what it means for the Alberta Industrial Heartland.
Thank you, Jackie, and welcome, Minister Schultz. Nice rainy day should alleviate our drought situation anyway, right? Good morning. My name is Dave Dudek, and I am the chair of Alberta's Industrial Heartland Association. Our association is responsible for the economic development of Alberta's industrial heartland. These new intakes will improve the business case for companies choosing to locate in the heartland. It will provide dependable access to low-cost water while simultaneously ensuring shared use of infrastructure across new users on these three new intakes. This will establish long-lasting economic benefits in an environmentally responsible way. When this new water infrastructure is paired with our existing infrastructure, like rail, pipelines, and carbon sequestration, as well as access to a talented and advanced workforce and low-cost feedstocks, the industrial heartland provides outstanding opportunities for industrial producers to locate their next project. AIH has over $45 billion in existing capital infrastructure, and with Dow's recent final investment decision, will soon be home to the world's first net-zero ethylene cracker and derivative facility. Our region is solidifying our position as a world-class destination for industrial development. Our strong partnership with the Government of Alberta has helped foster this growth. I would like to recognize the Minister and the hardworking staff at the Ministry of Environment and Protected Areas for their continued commitment to this partnership and for advancing the dual benefits of environmental stewardship and economic prosperity in our communities. Their leadership on establishing Alberta's industrial heartland as Alberta's first designated industrial zone and improving regulatory approvals and environmental controls within our region is another example of how our collaborative relationship helps attract more investment. The Alberta Industrial Heartland Association looks forward to seeing industrial development as a result of the three new intakes, and we look very forward to the results that may be upcoming in the future. Thank you very much.
Thank you, David. We are now going to go to questions in person before going to the phones. It'll be one question, one follow-up. Seeing no questions in the room, we're going to go... Oh, we have one question in the room.
Good morning, Lindsay Morey with the Sherwood Park News. Just wondering if there is currently any projects in the pipeline or in the works that would be dependent directly on this kind of policy.
There is discussions are happening. They're happening all the time, but as of right now, no one has made a final investment decision that would warrant the use of a new intake. I just want to say though that one of the municipalities within the association does have an application with Alberta Environment, and We're waiting for final approval on that. Hopefully that happens sooner than later here. And I'm sure that once we get that initial final investment decision made, then we can proceed with construction wherever that may be within the Heartland here.
Did you have a follow-up? No? Seeing no questions on the line either, this concludes today's announcement. Thank you everyone for joining us.